The Simple Critic, Series 1 of 1 by Nathan Written by Nathan Audio companion narrated by Nathan Music created and performed by Nathan Episode 1. A Simple Day Out. One. Interior. An empty theatre stage. Crossing from centre stage left towards centre stage, we see a man enter the stage like one of those Queen's foot guards. For your imagination, these are those men who wear tall black hats, fastened red coats, and black suit trousers. He walks with as much control as that carried by a toy soldier, that he would, or might, wind up at its winder, and then see march on stiffly. We hear comedic army drums music playing as he walks. The man right-hand salutes to the camera, lowers his hand to his side, then clears his throat, which sounds a little Professor Umbridge. Music stops. Hello, this is Clunky Colonel Corny, your favourite audiobook narrator speaking. Yes, that was not alliteration, the fun literary device, because that is... Colonel Corny prolongs the word is for 1 second, now sounding confused. Not how it. Actually, that is how it works. Well done, me. He looks dumbfounded. In an attempt to avoid engendering awkwardness, he forms a goofy smile. Colonel Corny continues. And yes, Colonel Corny is my actual name. I come from a long line of clunky colonels. He clasps his hands together as if to bring the monologue to a close. Anyway, before you meet the star of the show, the man of the hour, or a soon-to-be dear friend to you, the Simple Critic, please be advised that anything he says is not intended, to be offensive to real-life critics, and anyone else who may take offence. If you do take offence, well, take a walk to your nearest iCarolite store that cares about your irrelevant opinion and runs your ego train from the back of the store to the tunnel speakers hovering over incoming shoppers. Now they're out of the way. To you who are getting restless, also be advised that these scripts were originally intended for visual storytelling. Colonel Corny shrugs his shoulders before sighing and raising his arms, stopping at shoulder height. They extend outwards to the camera. Enjoy the show! nice voice I have.
2. Interior/exterior. An empty theatre stage. The scene transitions into a smartphone screen held in landscape orientation. Our view, the camera, moves outward and we see a person's right hand holding the smartphone. As the camera pans out, the setting is established. A wide, empty park.
Friday, 29th December 2023. Just after Christmas.
3. Exterior. A wide, empty park. Day. The camera continues to move backward, then goes around in the right direction to face the front of the person. The camera slows to a stop as the person is fully captured.
And what was next?
He is sitting on a park bench in front of a small car park, looking rather frustrated and down at his smartphone. The man is wearing a long-sleeve red shirt made of cotton with a loosely fitting turtleneck. It is complemented by worn-looking blue sweatpants and a pair of greenish-yellow runners with a white bottom. He also wears a pair of black glasses. Its frames are rectangular but bent slightly at the corners. We hear him make a sound for the first time. Now. The man. This is the Simple Critic, by the way, who, for brevity or word elimination, will be truncated to T.S.C, looks up from his smartphone to somewhere to his left off camera. He stands up, sighing as he does. His shorter than average white and Asian male height and thin yet healthy body frame is shown. We see T.S.C walk to his left with a carefree posture, putting his left hand inside his left trouser pocket, searching inside it noisily. 1, 2, 3. His hand comes out, gripping a slender granola bar, wrapped in pretend-to-store plastic foil. T.S.C unwraps the bar and pops a good half of it into his mouth. He swallows. We only hear a faint, almost silent throat sound. T.S.C hates all body sounds. Ugh. He leers at his unworthy bar. We see T.S.C from the front, who is still looking at his bar in disdain. He looks to the front. We see his face has scrunched up as a result of the nasty granola bar. He looks back to the bar. We see T.S.C from behind. He is walking towards a nearby toilet facility that is shaded and made from orangey-red terracotta bricks. He stops at a rubbish bin in front of it. T.S.C is still staring at his bar. We watch awkwardly for 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. The camera zooms into the rubbish bin and then to T.S.C, zooming out as it does so. We see T.S.C from behind the rubbish bin. He throws the bar into the bin and walks to his left, off camera. Then suddenly, we hear a high-pitched voice. The camera, surprised, turns left, then right, then back, to the front.
Four. Exterior/exterior. A wide, empty park. Day. The camera tilts downward towards the top of the rubbish bin. We see a tiny figure waving his right hand to the camera. The camera zooms into the tiny figure. We can now see the figure precisely. Said figure is none other than Colonel Corney. 5. Exterior. Top of a rubbish bin near the toilet facility. Day. I say, soldier, I am very disappointed in you. Did you not hear me pronounce ever so distinctively, "Oh, the, he, ha"? We see Colonel Corney make exaggerated hand and foot gestures as he berates us. By the way, Colonel Corney's accent is a blend of British accents, sounding English, Scottish, Welsh or Irish, depending on the occasion. Great help for whoever is providing the Colonel's voice. Not. We see Colonel Corney from behind him. He turns to his left and sees the camera, which makes him startled and jump 50 centimeters into the air. What? Huh! Oh, good heavens! That was a very stereotypical response. Let me do that again. We see him turn back from and face the camera, this time reacting absurdly. He stares at the camera in an overly surprised manner. The camera zooms into Colonel Corney's body from the waist up, with successive closing in cuts accompanied by the dun 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 sound we can hear. We watch awkwardly for 3 seconds. Occasional cliché cricket chirps play. When can my heart go back to beating again? My arteries? Oh, my arteries! Six. Exterior/exterior. Top of a rubbish bin near the toilet facility. Day. The camera zooms back out to its original position behind the rubbish bin. Colonel Corney relaxes. 7. Exterior. A wide, empty park. Day. The camera zooms out from the top of the rubbish bin. We move away from the bin towards whichever direction we saw T.S.C go towards. Then, suddenly from somewhere behind us, we hear Colonel Corney's changeable accent again. We come to a stop like a car that has finally stopped after a 50-meter stopping distance. We look back to the bin.
Sploosh! We see Colonel Corny grow to his full size and land right on top of the rubbish bin. All 6'3" and not that lean muscle of him. He carefully makes his way off the bin, dusting himself in the process. He looks at the camera as he walks forward. The camera moves backwards from the toilet facility out to the open green.
Ahem. Editing trickery.
We are back with T.S.C. on the other side of the facility where the toilets are located. T.S.C. enters from the camera's left and heads back toward where he left us. We see him stumble back behind the facility and hide from Colonel Corny's view after seeing Colonel Corny speaking to the air. T.S.C. backs towards the camera, pausing when his back fills the left third of the camera to take a good look at Colonel Corny, who is now levitating. Weird. T.S.C. sidles towards the facility and hides behind the other end of the facility. We see him do this. We see T.S.C. from in front of him. He pulls a perplexed facial expression. We see Colonel Corny from in front of him. He is singing, with great sincerity, the chorus of Pray by British man band Take That, which goes on for about 20 seconds.
All I do each night is pray, hoping that I'll be a part of you again someday. All I do each night is think of all the times I close the door to keep my love within.
We return to T.S.C., now looking blankly towards Colonel Corny. In the background, we can still unfortunately hear Colonel Corny singing, repeating the same part of the song.
Times I close the door to keep my love within. All I do each night is pray.
Still looking at Colonel Corny, T.S.C. sidesteps 10 times towards his left slowly. Camera pan.
Of all the times I close the door to keep my love within.
He quickly turns to face the opposite direction and speed walks away, as if he wished he had not seen a group of insolent boys destroy a house made from bricks and sticks.
Of all the times I close the door to keep my love within.
8. Exterior. The car park outside of the wide, empty park. Day. We are on the side of the road opposite T.S.C. We see T.S.C. approach the exit of the park, which is marked by 2 wooden footpath poles. In the distance, we can still hear Colonel Corny singing. T.S.C. steps onto the footpath outside the park and heads to his right. The camera pans left to follow T.S.C. and stops when the faraway corner of the footpath is barely viewable. T.S.C. becomes smaller and smaller as he continues along the footpath. He turns right and, in his last moment, disappears behind a brick house. Sound slowly fades away. Screen cuts to black. 1, 2, 3. 9. Interior. An empty theatre stage. We are back inside the theatre. Colonel Corny is still standing at centre stage, his head locked to his right side and his eyes shut. We can hear him snoring. He stops snoring after 3 seconds. He regains consciousness and shakes his head like a wet dog. He lifts his hands to his eyes and rubs his eyes deeply. He opens his eyes. Suddenly, he strikes a defensive pose that some kind of soldier would when about to combat a nearby enemy minion.
Where are you, enemy soldier?
He raises his arms and fists like a sumo wrestler as he says this. This is the defensive pose. He looks left, then right, then back to the front. He goes back to his normal position, hands and arms by his sides.
Ah, hello. Corny here. Did you enjoy meeting the critic? I say meet. He didn't see you at all, because this is a film, and you were watching this film after it was edited. Oh, sorry, I mean audio-only series. Yes, Nathan, one of the writers of this episode, amended this part now that The Simple Critic is an audio-only series because the romance of film is dead. D-E-A-D. Dead.
Colonel Corny claps 3 times.
Don't you worry though. These remaining scripts Nathan will make for the rest of this series will be written in the original film script format, with the main focus on hearing. And back to the original part of the script now. La 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 la, la la la.
Colonel Corny says this last block of text with a hint of pretentiousness, enough to not sound obnoxious or condescending.
Not trying to break the fourth wall here, even though that is why I was created, to serve as a nonsensical character to add variety and interest to the writer's story and to establish a relationship between the audience and the writers. But you are smart enough to know that, I hope. Anyway, come back tomorrow, or rather next year, for the next installment of The Simple Critic, presented by yours truly, Clumsy Colonel, or just simply Corny. You are dismissed.
We see him wave to the camera and then march off the stage to his right. We again hear the comedic Omni drums music. The scene fades. One, 2, 3, 4. Attention! I bring forth an update. Colonel Corny runs back onto the stage, making loud footsteps on the way.
Alright.
The camera pans to the left of the stage.
Long story short, everything I just revealed is wrong. Gosh darn it.
Colonel Corny lifts his tall black hat to reveal an envelope placed at the top of his bald head. He sets the hat down on the stage to take the envelope off his head. He rips it open and unfolds the single piece of paper, which appears to be blank.
Ahem. In the same order as before. Yes, The Simple Critic was an audio-only series. There was another writer who made up The Simple Critic with Nathan, but Nathan is the main writer of The Simple Critic. Credit to all others has been given on the title page at the front of the script. And yes, this is the end of The Simple Critic. Less work, save time, more satisfaction from getting the script out. When this script becomes available to you, the listener/reader, huge joy will be felt. Thank you very much for reading The Simple Critic. I hope you found the script as hilarious, strange, and profound as Nathan had at the time of rewriting. Colonel Corny folds the piece of paper and rips it up into many pieces. Feel the realization. Stretch out your arms to the Lord and think, be grateful for my life. Farewell! We hear the comedic only drums music for the last time. Colonel Corny marches off the stage. Colonel Corny dashes onto the stage to fetch his Queen's Foot Guard hat, realizing he forgot to take it with him. Thud. The end. Thank you very much for reading or listening to this episode of The Simple Critic, Series 1 of 1. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy the rest of your day. Hey, it's Nath.